As the protests in Egypt have grown stronger by the day, U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has been making the rounds of political talk shows on American television, repeating the Obama administration's position.
We continue to urge the Egyptian government, as the United States has for 30 years, to respond to the legitimate aspirations of the Egyptian people and begin to take concrete steps to implement democratic and economic reform.
Mrs. Clinton, like other senior American officials, has stopped short of calling on Mr. Mubarak to step down, insisting that is a question for Egypt, not the United States. Washington has good reason for this cautious approach.
There's the risk that if they call for Mubarak to step down and he doesn't, and his security apparatus kind of reaffirms him in power, that actually puts America in a weaker position. Second, any kind of change the United States does not want to see have a Made in America stamp on it. So I think they want Egyptians to own this process.
Responding to the upheaval in Egypt puts America in a somewhat difficult position. After all, under Mr. Mubarak, Egypt has been one of America's biggest allies in the Middle East and the only country, along with Jordan, to have signed a peace treaty with Israel. In recent days, U.S. President Barack Obama has been on the phone reassuring other friendly Mideast leaders that they remain vital American partners. In Egypt, Washington is pushing the government to make major concessions before things get out of control.
They are afraid of a situation where Egypt is moved into an uncertain situation, and there's no sense of understanding where this ally is moving in terms of a government, a stable government, and who are the players to run this new government.
Many in Egypt, including the Nobel Peace Prize winner Mohammed el-Baradei, feel the United States is not doing enough to promote democracy. Be that as it may, Washington has been pressing Egypt's government and opposition political leaders to talk about creating a transitional government.
Well, right now I think it's reacting to very swiftly evolving events on the ground. It's staked out a position of trying to encourage nonviolence, trying to encourage political and economic reform. It's currently engaged in an aggressive diplomatic full-court press that involves not only President Obama talking to President Mubarak, but the military here talking to its counterparts in Egypt, and our diplomats reaching out not only to the Egyptian government but the Egyptian people. So at this stage, they're trying to assess where is everybody at, where are the fractures in the current existing order, and then understanding what might a political roadmap look like for real reform.
Hosni Mubarak has been one of America's staunchest allies in the Middle East. Now that massive demonstrations have made his position untenable, Washington feels it can do little more than call for democratic reforms and implore the army and police to avoid the use of violence. Washington is now hoping that any transitional government will continue Egypt's pro-American orientation. Burton Bollag, KSA2, Washington.